Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Keelloo Talk with, of course, your host, Keelloo. So, today we're going to be talking about another 3 topics. You can kind of see a trend here. We're going to be talking about 3 topics in the majority of episodes. So, today we are going to be talking about video games, visual novels, and pets. I know one seems unlike the other, of course, but I felt like it was necessary. And as usual, this won't be nearly as long as the initial episode, so don't worry about that. But please feel free to, check that one out too if you want. Anyway, let's get started. Video games. So, as it is for a lot of people my age, probably, video games have been a staple for a very, very long time. I can still remember, playing the old ass Pokemon games on my Game Boy. But things just have changed a lot. And that's not a negative knock, because there are a lot of really, really good games. Uh, it's just not the same as it used to be. Like, you knew who would put out these, top tier, top shelf games. But now you really don't know. Like, okay, I'm pretty anti triple A game industry, but it's still sad that oh god. Give me a second, sorry. God damn. I just sneezed 5 times in a row. I think that's a record. So apologies for that, and apologies if I have to in the near few minutes. So we were talking about AAA games. I know that's kind of you know, a hard point to get across to people, but okay, I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay, again, sorry about that. I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment. Um, anyway, yeah, AAA games. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of AAA games. I think they've become far too corrupt in, what they're trying to do. If you watch their trailers, for example, the ones from E3, for example, um, it's just you can just sense the I don't give a shit, I just want money feel in it. And that's especially true for companies like Ubisoft and EA. I mean, EA is the worst. Well, I don't. I hate to, bandwagon on that meme, but that's, you know, kind of how it is. Meanwhile, we have smaller video games, smaller indie games that are really capturing what video games should be. Good gameplay, good aesthetics, good character design, good, whatever. Everything that makes the game as a whole good. And that's why I like indie games. I might get, shit for that, but it's just really incredible when you get a game. Okay, let's take. I don't. Oh, wait. Huh. I don't know if Ori is considered an indie game, but as a smaller game, Ori and the Blind Forest, uh, just a god tier game. Like, easily one of the best games that has been put out as a Metrovania in a long time. And then we have absolute ass like, I don't know, Apex Legends, which, did I pronounce that right? I don't want to be a complete bellend. Oh, give me 1 second. Yeah, okay, I'm not being a complete bellend here. Not a complete, wait. Okay, so, where were we? Yeah, video games, like I said. I think indie games have a lot more potential these days than they did in the past due to the upgrade in hardware, um, the amount of people who are interested in making indie games. So, not that these AAA games aren't impressive in, like technicality, but they're just ass to play. They're just not fun. I mean, unless it's Nintendo. And I'm biased here. I will 100% admit I'm biased. But, god damn. Video games have changed a lot since I was far younger in the early 2000s. But I guess that's kind of how it has to be. And if you enjoy it, great. That's completely fine. I mean, I'm not gonna bash anyone here. But it's just different. And that's weird for someone who was born in the 90s and grew up with video games in the, like, Y2K early 2000 era. Anyway, I don't want to rant too much more about this, but let's move on to visual novels. Wait, just actually give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Alright, again, as always, I apologize about that. But yeah, let's talk about visual novels. Visual novels are a really, really niche thing here in the West. I mean, in Japan, they're everywhere. I mean, being there twice, you can see them, advertisements for them everywhere. But here, they're extremely niche. You might be lucky to see, an ad for them on Steam or a Kickstarter on, you know, well, Kickstarter. But they're just, it's such a huge contrast. I mean, there are people in the West who want to play these, but there's a ton of reasons why, the big ones are hard to get. Because you got licensing costs, you got length considerations, you got, um, is people, yeah, not is, are people actually going to play this, blah, blah, blah. Um, it's a weird market. Like, probably one of the weirdest ones I've seen in a long time is the VN market. I mean, there's been a lot of, obviously, there's been a lot of very popular VNs released. Like, I don't know, let's say Hoshi's no Memoria, Down the Rabbit Hole. Um, I mean, even free ones like Doki Doki Literature Club. But the top tier ones are just, it. In my opinion, it's unlikely they'll ever be released. Which is a sad thought because there's some incredible ones that need a proper translation. I'm talking stuff like Sakura no Uta. I know Fate has a fan translation, but Fate needs a proper translation, even though I don't care about Fate. Um, well, Alcana is getting a translation, so I can't say that one. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that it's really great that people or companies are willing to put their time and money into translations. But the projects that they invest in can be iffy. For example, I love the work that Nekonyan has done so far, or and has planned. For but on the other side, Manga Gamer, who is they translate really really well. Um, they do some weird ass shit, and it's like why? So there's a lot of just confusion in the VN translation, like official VN translation community. And you have people like Sakai Project, who are a bunch of cunts who just fuck everything up. They make everything take way too long. They take the rights from other people. They buy out people, blah blah blah. So it's just like, can I just get a half decent English translation for this game? I don't even care if it's a novel. Just let me play this fucking game. And that's what frustrates me the most is that, like, okay, let me just go through this. I know it takes a lot of time, effort, and people to, get a game translated, but, well, and, obviously programmed into English, but some of you goddamn fucking wankers just don't do it right. Just focus on a couple of things at a time. Don't announce a shit ton of projects at one time. Maybe then you'd get things out a lot faster. And stop backing down on your Kickstarter backer promises. Those people funded what you're gonna, bring to whoever. Think about that. It's just embarrassing to me. Like, and no one cares. That's what gets me. They act like they care, but no one cares. Like, as one more example, Hoshizora no Memoria was released, translated by Sika Project quite a while back. But they had to do a retranslation because it was so shit. How embarrassing is that? That you can just blow it off. Okay, I know that I care about this more than most people do. Like, but it's just visual novels are they're actual works of fiction. They're not just these stupid random video games. They're written by people who put tons of work into them. And when they're fucked up like this, it's, in my opinion, it's unacceptable. I know it's kind of an extreme opinion, but, like, think about that for a second. This author put this much time into all of this story because visual novels are all story, all text. How can you possibly want to fuck that up? How can you possibly let someone fuck that up? I'm just, I don't know. Anyway, on the last note, I'll leave. I'm still waiting for Sakura no Uta translation, which will probably never happen, but hey, I can hope, right? Anyway, let's move on to our last topic before this video gets too long. Pets. You guys ever had any pets? Like, I'm talking a cat, dog, or something. Like, not a hamster or some shit like that. Something that has, seemingly has emotions and feelings, and like obviously a dog does. Like you have a dog, and it's super loyal to you if it's, a good dog, and a good cat at least, is loyal to you and knows who you are and recognizes you. I'm not talking about like a hamster or a gerbil or whatever the fuck you are thinking of. I love my cats. They're just, I know cats can be really, really bitchy. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Like, randomly running away from you, randomly biting you, randomly scratching you, randomly just hissing. But I really do love my cats. I love one more than the other, but that's a different story. I guess I can talk about that, but um, cats are really, really weird and potentially annoying at times. Like the other day, for example, one of mine was meowing at the door while my mom was outside talking on the phone for like 20 minutes while I was trying to sleep. So, and then the next hour, she's passed out in front of the other screen door because cats. So, I'm not really sure what to think about cats at times. I mean, they're very nice when they actually want to be. Like they actually give a shit. I had this, we had this cat that we did. She died, a few years back, 3 years back, of cancer. Oh God, this is gonna make me. This is a sad ending, but sadly, it has to be talked about. We had a cat that died of cancer. Um, there was nothing we could do. Well, we took her to a really high-end vet place, and she got better for a day. And then the next day, she was back to like, oh, she's gonna die. So it just wasn't sustainable. So we just decided to euthanize her, which was probably one of the saddest things that's ever happened in my life because this cat was my, and she loved me. Always was with me, always with sleeping with me, always with just sitting with me. But she's gone, and that's all I can say. But thankfully, we still have the other two. That's what I try to tell myself. One is a complete retard, and the other is the best cat ever. So at least we have one non retard cat. So I don't try to think about that too much. I mean, I was crushed, but it's just something that happened that I can't control. Nobody can control. She was just, she was dying, so we had to. And I was crying for days. And if the other one, the calico, died, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I mean, she will obviously eventually, but she's healthy and whatever. But if she just died, I don't know what I don't know what I would do. She's got a lot of life in her. She'll be probably okay for a while. But she's my buddy right now. The other one is just, I have no idea what to think of her. She's probably got bipolar or some shit like that. But she can be nice when she wants to. Bellin. Anyway, I've never had a dog though. I'll just talk briefly about this. I never had a dog. Um, I know it's man's best friend and all that, but dogs always kind of just seem too clingy to me. Never liked any of the other dogs I met. Anyway, like I said, I don't give a shit about hamsters and gerbils because they're useless. But fish. Fish aquariums, if you do them right, are god tier. This guy I know, who we used to know, my god, fantastic. Alright, this file's getting really, really, really big. Okay, so thanks for joining me in episode 3. Signing off as Keelloo, and I will see you in another video. Sayonara.